All right, Boomer Live, episode 86, episode 87, excuse me, of MMA Complete Podcast. Today is March 17th. I hope everybody's having a good St. Patrick's Day out there. Today is also the first day of March Madness, so I hope everyone's brackets are going well. I have already been eliminated from having a perfect bracket. Richmond beating Iowa did kill me on that. I made probably 10 brackets, and of course I put Iowa on 2 of them. I want to say 2 of them. The only one that matters that I actually did for fans only sports in our own entity team group bracket. I picked Iowa, so good for me. But I hope everyone's still having some fun. There's going to be some great basketball over the next couple of days that I hope everybody got to bet a little bit on, because I know I did. March Madness is my favorite tournament of the year. I'm going to be watching that shit for the next couple weeks nonstop, and it's going to be a good time. But today, we have something else to talk about. We have the UFC and their biannual, I guess they're doing nowadays, London card coming up this weekend. So, Austin is going to be down here in a second. We're going to go over our picks over the next couple weeks. We're going to be getting ready for UFC 273, which will be on air April 9th. I don't know about the actual time for that event because the events over the last couple weeks have been a little earlier than usual. But then again, that is because, London has a much different time zone, obviously. How does that look? I guess you can see it for the most part. That's fine. So, we have a big card coming up this week that should be a lot of fun. There's some underdogs. There is a... This light is shit. Let me see if I can just do that. That'll be fine. Okay, so coming up this weekend we have UFC London card, UFC Fight Night 190 or 207, I believe it is. So the main event of this card is Tom Aspinall versus Alexander Volkov. It's a really good heavyweight matchup, top 10 matchup. And although I guess technically Aspinall is number 11, but we're going to call it a top 10 matchup because it floats off the tongue a little bit better. It's going to be a great boxing match. These two skilled big men should put on a show. Possible first round knockout, as is with any heavyweight battle, but to be honest with you, I don't see it ending in the first round. I can kind of see this fight going a couple rounds. Aspinall has really good cardio. His last fight he had with Arlovsky went to the second round, and Volkov has had a bunch of bangers over the last couple weeks that they haven't gone through round 3 or 4.
Need to eat, bro. I'm hungry.
Alright. But Volkov is going to be looking to get back in the win column after losing his last 3 fights. Or is it 2 fights? Volkov actually beat Marcin Tybura in his last fight. Before that had lost 2 fights. So Volkov really needed to prove his top 10 ranking. He's fighting Tom Aspinall. I don't think he'll get it done. Aspinall is, for all intents and purposes, the best prospect in the heavyweight division. His last 3 fights before Arlovsky all ended in first round knockout. He's at 4-0 in the UFC, and he's fighting in London. I think that's the biggest part that will give him the advantage. Alexander Volkov is going to have to really accommodate himself to the time zone change is really what's going to do it. The elevation isn't as huge of a problem as it would be if they were going to Denver or anywhere in the Midwest. But as long as Volkov had been there over the last couple weeks, which we know he got to London 2.5 weeks ago, he should be getting a little bit used to it. The problem is Tom Aspinall's in his backyard. He's been training with his team in the UK. I can't think of their camp name right now, but It's a really, really skilled camp, especially when you realize that they've brought in fighters like Khamzat Chimaev, like Sean Strickland. He fights with Darren Till all the time. This camp that Aspinall is part of it's not top tier.
Serious.
Because it doesn't have any champions, but if you look at their YouTube videos, if you look at their training from coach, it's Benson. Do you know off the top of your head their head coach over there? I want to say it's Thomas Benson. He's like he's a former boxing champion in the UK. He's not like a world champion, but he was a UK champ. Anyway, this guy that runs it's a pretty fucking serious dude. They train for like 5 hours at a time with no water, and then they get a water break, and then they go another 2 hours. It's like really, really strict cardio. Tom Aspinall, one of the quickest heavyweights we've seen in a long time, and you can tell that the kind of preparation that he goes under in that camp is something that really, really gets great production out of it. You know, Darren Till hasn't had great luck as of late over his last couple fights. I want to say he's 1 of 4 in his last 5. This is the type of camp that's brought out champions like Michael Bisping. This is the type of camp that has brought out numerous stars, so they don't fuck around. And Alexander Volkov is going to be in for a really, really tough day 2 days from now. And what's good for most of us around here is that the card is actually a lot earlier than it usually is. It's going to start around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The main card is going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The prelims are going to start at 1 p.m. So this is going to be like basically an afternoon card. I won't be able to see it, which fucking sucks, but we will be riding it heavy. We already have a good amount of cha-ching on it. Probably going to add a little bit more. Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 really, really interesting fights on this card. Some fights that we haven't even really gone over. I'm talking to Austin now. There's fights like Abdurakhimov versus Pavlovich. We haven't talked about it. It's another heavyweight shot. I want to say Abdurakhimov is number 9 in the heavyweight division. Pavlovich is 15.
Muhammad
Makayev?
I like him.
So, funny story about that. I've been doing really, like the last 4 or 5 days, if I'm not at work, I'm fucking encapsulated myself in here. Like, I haven't left the fucking studio.
Wow.
I've been rearranging shit. I've been trying to come up with different ideas. I've been working my tits off on this database. Makayev. I can't remember his first name.
Mokov.
Are you sure it's not Makayev?
M-O-K-E-V.
M-O-K-A-E-V?
M-O-K-E-V.
No. Not the guy fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
M-O-K-A-E-V.
Hey, whoa, sorry. Big deal.
This is his first fight in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah, he's minus 400.
Yeah, I don't love the pick.
He trains in Russia.
I'm sorry, I don't love the pick.
Trains with Khabib.
I'm not gonna go ahead and bet on Corey Durden. Corey Durden lost his last fight, but
310, no one's betting on him.
But Makayev is first fight in the UFC. He had 4 or 5 fights at Brave, which is like not even a top 3 organization. They have some really good smaller guys. It's a company that prides itself on featherweight, bantamweight, flyweights. So this guy's in good competition over there, but he's not. I have a thing about people going in their toughest fights ever. Like, it's a huge step up in competition, and that's what Makayev's in right now. I'm going to go ahead and ride it with you because I have a parlay with him already, but I'm not putting any more on Makayev. I know that's your guy. You've been talking about it for a couple weeks, but...
I'll be right back. I forgot my picks, dude.
Okay. Going down more on that card for UFC London, Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker is the co-main event in a fight that we really like Arnold Allen. So if you didn't know, Dan Hooker's on his first fight as a featherweight. Dropped down 10 more pounds than he's used to. He always fights at lightweight at 155. And there's been a lot of reports in London going on that he looks really bad. Like, he looks terribly out of shape. He was starving himself to get down to 145, which you never like to see. And it's a process that we're pretty familiar with now in the UFC. You know, these weight cuts that these fighters try to do to get an advantage so they can go down to a smaller weight class and have the size advantage. And Dan Hooker's tried it for the first time. We're going to see in a couple days if it's going to work. But to be honest with you, we were already of the opinion that it wouldn't work before he even tried it and before we realized how bad his weight cut was going to be. So when you put that up also against Arnold Allen, who's a really skilled wrestler, who's on an 8-fight win streak, who's younger, and who has all the more reason to rise up the ranks because he's already in the top 8. It looks like it's... Dan Hooker's the much better striker. Dan Hooker has the chance to knock him out in the first round. But if it's not a first 3-minute knockout, this fight is almost assuredly going to be going into the second and third round with Arnold Allen just dominating and putting relentless pressure on Dan Hooker until Hooker either gives up or is just beaten down for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We put a decent amount on Arnold Allen. I want to say he has
I'm missing
an 8-fight win streak going into this. I'm pretty sure that was the case. And his last fight against Sadiq Youssef, he beat Nick Lenz, he beat Gilbert Melendez. So he doesn't have the competition level that Dan Hooker is at. Dan Hooker, even though he's lost 2 of his last 3, he's really not what he used to be like 3 years ago.
No.
Dan Hooker's still a really, I'm not going to say star, but he's a really big name in the sport, and he has a really great level of competition behind him.
Mm.
You know, Allen's on the come up, Hooker's on the come down.
Dan Hooker said if he beats Arnold Allen, there's no... he said there's no choice that he should face a top 5 fighter after.
I agree with that.
Hmm.
Arnold Allen is number 7 right now. If Dan Hooker drops down a division and beats number 7, I could see him going right into... I don't know about top 5 in that division. Because top 5 right now is Volk, Holloway, Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, and Chan Sung Jung. And then it's Calvin Kattar at 6. So I don't see him leapfrogging any of those guys. No, especially with Calvin Kattar.
Calvin Kattar
kicked the shit out of Giga Chikadze, which was super impressive. And with Chan Sung Jung fighting for the featherweight title.
Yeah.
It's something on my hat. They're not going to want to move him down the rankings and give him a worse ranking heading into that title main event because that would just fuck up the pay-per-view. So I think he might go to 7 if he beats Arnold Allen, which is a big if. And then, yeah, I can see him getting a top 5 fight. I don't think anybody in the top 5 is losing to Dan Hooker. I don't think it's even close.
It's one of the most stacked divisions right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. At least in the top 5, too. Yair Rodriguez almost beat Max Holloway.
That's like the one guy I think that Dan Hooker could have a chance of beating is Yair Rodriguez. Other than that, I don't think he could beat Calvin Kattar. I don't think he could beat...
I think Calvin Kattar and Dan Hooker would be a really great fight.
I think Calvin Kattar wins, though. That's just me. He's a warrior, dude. He's really good at striking.
Super
I mean,
tough.
Max Holloway is just, Max
Right.
Holloway. You can't really judge him on that.
And, I mean, if you see the progression, like, yes, I understand Max Holloway to Giga Chikadze is a huge step down. But if you think about it, it's really not that big of a change in styles. So
Yeah.
if you're going to go against a boxer like Chikadze, or excuse me, if you're going to go against a kickboxer like Chikadze, you might as well go against a guy like Dan Hooker, who is more experienced and has that level of striking against competition that Kattar has. So Kattar versus Hooker really does make sense if he wins, but this is all completely speculation because Dan Hooker's not going to beat Arnold Allen. I'm sorry. Unless he knocks him out in the first 2 minutes, he's not going to do it.
No, he's not going to do it. And is Arnold Allen a wrestler, grappler?
Yes, wrestler.
I think he takes him down. And I don't... Dude, the weight cut. We didn't even really talk about his Dan Hooker's
That's what I
weight
was
cut.
talking about when you went outside.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it up again. It's a serious thing. He's done it before. Doesn't he look? I mean, what was he at a couple days ago? 162.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me.
And he has to lose 17 pounds. I don't think it's gonna be a good cut for him. And I think him being taken down to the ground, all the pressure on him, all that weight on his chest. I think he's gonna lose stamina quick. I really do. I don't think he's gonna be able to recover as quickly as he thinks he's going to be able to recover because he's not at 155. You know what I mean? I don't think he realizes. I mean, I don't know if he's just. Do they like cut weight and spar at 145?
No.
Before
no, not at all. Because what happens is Dan Hooker, if he was like a week or two out at 162, he walks around probably 175, which is a decent weight. I would assume so for a guy who fights at 155, especially a guy like Hooker who's tall. He's like 6 foot. You know what I mean? He's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
So if you got to cut 30 pounds in a month and a half, which has been the training camp that Hooker established with this fight, you're going to drop down 10, maybe 15 pounds for the first couple weeks when you get your really hard training in. That's when you're putting in the new moves and your techniques and you're watching all the tape in this case, he's practicing his takedown defense and he's practicing his range striking so that he keeps Allen off of him.
Yeah.
And then in the last 3 weeks, that's when you're only drinking water, you're having 1 meal a day, and you're doing all the extra shit that they do to lose weight. Mm-hmm. And then in the last couple days is when you're literally just drinking water, you're not eating at all. And that's when you lose 10 pounds in 3 days. And that's how you finally get your cut. But what the problem is because you're not getting any protein in your body in those couple days because of this weight cut, it would be super dangerous to train as hard as you would.
Yeah, I know how a weight cut goes.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
But Dan Hooker's literally not getting like any training in right now.
Yeah.
And then once you get the weigh-in, which is tonight, which we all expect him to make the weight because of this
training.
Gruesome weight.
He's got to be hitting pads or something.
When I say no training, that's like you're right. He's absolutely doing it. He's
hitting mitts.
He's not sparring.
Maybe practicing takedowns.
He's not hard sparring, for sure.
No,
he
definitely
doesn't have someone
sparring.
coming at him trying to knock him out.
No, he's definitely not sparring. But he's definitely like maybe doing light groundwork. You know, you got to do something.
So over the next 2 days, when he puts all the weight back on, and because of the radical decline of the nutrition that you have over the last couple of days, when you eat these next 2 days leading up to the fight, you're going to gain back 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Because your body is just going to store all of that fat and protein and vitamins and use it all. And so he's going to balloon back up to like 160. Probably, maybe a little bit less. And his body's just not going to be used to that, especially in the first time having this weight cut because he's used to 155.
Second time?
First time ever going to featherweight for Dan Hooker.
Okay. I thought somebody commented on Twitter, said this is his second time.
I mean, it's his first time in at least 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. Okay.
So, I think what you said before this is completely correct. I think he's going to gas out, and because of that, he's going to try to look for the knockout in the first round, and he's going to waste all his energy, and as soon as he's really at the brink of wasting it all, Allen's going to take him down, bring him into deep waters, and that's it. Do you know the over-under on this fight? You in the middle of something?
I'm tweeting right now for us saying we are live.
Yeah, I just retweeted it. Fans only live stream.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the over-under. They haven't been posted over the last couple weeks that I checked.
Still not posted, I don't think.
No, they're not.
Which is kind of lame because I didn't place a lot of bets.
So More Bets has it for Aspinall Volkov. Let's see if they have it for...
That's got to be under. I'd take
Hooker
the under.
Allen. All right.
What do you think Volkov takes him
Allen.
down? You think he takes him down?
No. I think this is a straight boxing match. I think if anybody brings it down, it's Aspinall. Well, yes and no. I think it's really going to be really back and forth. Volkov has the experience. He has the reach. Aspinall has the fucking fastest hands we've seen in a while in that division.
Yeah.
Plus, he's just super quick. Like, this dude runs around the octagon like a 185er.
Yeah.
He really does.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go hedge this bet because I have Volkov on here.
Under 2.5 is plus 137. Under 1.5 is plus 240 for Hooker Allen.
Under one for Hooker Allen is plus 240.
Under the
Plus
over under is
240?
going to come out. They don't have this on the parlays yet. This is just in more bets. But the over under 2.5 is the spread.
I am so sick of taking unders and overs, bro. I really am because, yo, that shit's stressful. I hate dealing with that stress.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Do you care about the over under for Aspinall Volkov though?
Half the time it goes. I don't really. Yeah, what's the under? See,
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Under 3.5.
Well, just the over under that they're going to come out with is 3.5.
It's
Under
the main event.
Yeah. The under is minus 125. The over is minus 110.
You know, I think because they've been training for 5 rounds.
I definitely can see this
They're
fight
not
going
gonna.
over.
They're not. Tom Aspinall ain't gonna fight like a fucking maniac for the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Or like maybe he will. Maybe he'll have like these spurts, but he ain't gonna go
Right.
guns blazing like he used to.
Well, because of his inexperience, I wouldn't be surprised if he catches Volkov early and then goes in for the fucking kill.
I hope he does.
Me too. But because of it, dude, we have our last over under that we bet we hit. The Masvidal Colby over that hit.
Yeah, for you.
You took that. That was part of the pod bet.
Yeah, I know. It's 2
Right.
weeks ago, bro.
Two-
I'm on a fucking
2 weeks ago. That was basically 2015.
No, yeah, but Terrence McKinney, I bet the under 2.5. Oh well, that did hit, but I bet Terrence McKinney. You know what I mean? Like they're hitting.
I
bet Alex Pereira. I bet. No, we took Yadon Song under.
Yeah, dude, and that was
I
like
took him
25 seconds away. I noticed that the next day. It was like 20 seconds away from
We
hitting
hit
over.
that. We hit that. What do you mean?
The
Yadon Song under hit
Oh, you took the under.
with Tico. Yeah.
Oh, I took the over.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Until my tickets
Okay.
all lost, and then I took the under.
Right.
We did Yadong Song, the under, and Alex Pereira, $50 to win 150.
Okay, so at least you got one ticket.
Yeah.
I didn't have any come out of last week. Oh no, I did, but I had Drew Dober on a couple. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
So the spread, by the way, on all the guys that we've been betting on, because if you looked at this card 3 weeks ago, we had a fucking shit ton of underdogs.
Yeah, I know.
Like Aspinall was an underdog,
Yeah.
Allen was an underdog,
Jack Shore was a big underdog.
Jack Shore was an underdog, and now they're almost.
Well-
Jack Shore's still the underdog,
well,
but it's
Paul-
really tight.
Paul Craig's gone back up a little bit if we keep it real with everybody.
But Aspinall and Allen are now both the favorites. And we had them, like, all right. Allen's minus 120. I have him at plus 115. And Aspinall's minus 120. I think I have him at plus 100, if not 110.
Yeah, we went yesterday.
I went
2
last
seconds
week
ago.
and I put a couple in.
Oh, last week? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that.
And Jack Shore's plus 100 now. So,
I'm talking about something. Kai Kara France versus
Askarov.
Askarov.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 230.
Yep.
You're telling me that motherfucker doesn't have a chance to win?
Of course he has a chance to win. I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think he's gonna win, but plus 230? Jesus Christ, give the guy a little.
I know.
A little
I
respect.
like that odds too, and it's something I'm going to revisit. I just have
Just
I
a
haven't
little
thought
respect.
of it enough for this particular card. See, here's the thing: Kai Kara France knocked out Cody Garbrandt in a pretty spectacular fashion.
That's what I'm saying.
But Cody Garbrandt had made his first step down to flyweight. He just got down there. He had a bad weight cut. And Kai Kara France is known as a heavy hitter. Askar Askarov is a wrestler.
Neil Magny's fighting too.
Oh, yeah, I have Neil Magny on a bunch of tickets against Max Griffin.
Damn.
Really, I like Neil Magny.
I like Neil Magny.
I got him at minus 165. He's like minus 190 now.
Yeah.
Askar Askarov's a wrestler. And so I think that he's going to be taking Cara France down the entire time. Which Cara France has some good wrestling. If you're in the flyweight division, you're well-rounded as fuck. I don't care who you are. These 125ers can mix it up anyway. So, Askarov's going to take him down, and I think it's going to go 3 rounds on the ground. Cara France has a chance. He absolutely does. But he's going to have to stop like 10 takedowns, which I don't think he can do, especially with a guy that puts the pressure on you like Askarov, who is 4-0-1 in the UFC. His only draw was with Brandon Moreno like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Brandon Moreno has a lot of draws.
Mm-hmm. Paul Craig is back at plus 160, by the way. I don't think he went up. Or did he, like, drop down at one point?
No, he went back up.
Like, he was at plus 140 last week or something?
He was at plus 140 all last week.
Okay.
And then just went to plus 160.
Curtis Blades versus Chris Dawkins next week as well. 2 back-to-back main event heavyweight fights.
Yeah, that Curtis Blades, that's on you because, Dawkins has a chance, dude. Knock him out.
I'm hammering Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
Did
that when he faced Derek Lewis. Yeah.
And Derek Lewis just knocked out Chris Dawkins in the first round, middle of December. I think the last card of 2021.
Like 2015.
Curtis Blades is going to, like 2015, right? Curtis Blades is going to take him down for 5 rounds. He's going to get 28 takedowns this fight. That's what I think. I'm supremely confident in that.
Yeah, me too.
I like...
Oh, and the Blades? No,
I'm like
not confident.
Chris Gutierrez. I like David Dvorak.
David Dobrik.
I like Neil Magny. So there's going to be even more bets, dude. March is going to be one of the most serious months that I have done personally for bets. Like I think I probably put in a good 500, if not 600 so far. I'm going to put in another 1, maybe 200 this week, and then another 1 or 200 next week. So I'm fucking riding it for March. And that's going to lead all the way into UFC 273. We didn't talk about it too much last week, but this pay-per-view is...
I'm feeling confident on this card. Like, I haven't put a lot of money in, but, like, the last time I felt confident like this, we won them all. I'm feeling very confident
for
this fight
for
night.
this paper. Oh, for the fight night?
This weekend, yeah, I really am. I'm feeling pretty confident in these picks.
What do you think of the pay-per-view? Have you looked at it at all?
When's the pay-per-view?
April 9.
Well, no, I haven't looked at it. I only looked at it when it was on the Sportsbook app. Aspen Lad. Heavy underdog.
Oh, yeah, they just have the fucking prelims. They're not even putting the main cards yet.
else.
That's so stupid. I mean, I get
they don't want people parlaying, dude, for mad long.
Right, they don't want all 3 weeks. They don't want you to just pick the easy winners. Because, to be honest with you, the top 3 fights in this, as soon as they come out, we're hammering.
Hey, what is it?
Volkanovski versus Jung. Hammering Volkanovski.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
Sterling versus Jan.
Hammering
Jan. Kamaev versus Burns. Hammering Kamaev.
Yeah.
So we're going to put that on every parlay. So I get why they're not doing it, but it's fucked up that they have the prelims
Damn,
out.
I might have to put a fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
That might be the one.
All 3 of those,
Jan Sterling could win.
Right, Jan is going to be the closest. He might open up at like minus 190, minus 200. But Volkanovski is going to be like minus 300, and Kamaev's going to probably be like minus 250, minus 300.
Minus 400, I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. So those 3 together are
barely
going to scrape plus 100.
You're going to have to put like 5 units.
And I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that,
I'm totally fine with that because I am...
But
Jan is the only sweat.
I would be, why don't they have that out? Because I would put that on.
But there's so many more fights, too.
Yeah.
Like, you got the Aspen Ladd versus Irene Aldana fight is interesting because Aspen Ladd is the underdog. And she's 24 years old. She just had a kind of a weak loss where she had a bad cut and
Yeah,
then
I
got fucked
know.
up. So she's interesting to look at.
She's plus 170
But-
right now. Like, that is like, give some respect. Like,
Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Marcin Tibura.
yeah, Marcin.
That's a
Tibura,
decent fight.
Yeah.
I like Rosenstrike.
Oh no, I know the name.
Yeah,
I'm just repeating the name.
I like Rosenstrike in that fight. He'll be the favorite. Chris Curtis is fighting versus
remember him.
Alessandro Duplessis. I got Chris Curtis. There's a couple fucking fights, man. Kai Henson's fighting again.
I'm staying away.
Yeah, me too.
I hope she wins, but
Kelvin Gastelum versus Nasruddin Imavov is another super interesting fight.
she has to win though, Cayenne. Like she's got to win. I'm gonna bet on her. I'm not even gonna cap.
You think so?
Yeah,
Who is? Give me a second here because I have Rodriguez down. For the life of me, I cannot think of.
I'm a
her
rider,
first
dude.
name
I'm gonna
'cause it's
just
not
ride
Marina.
it. I'm just gonna ride her, you know. Fucking, I'm 1 for 2. Yeah, 2 for. She gotta go 2 for 2.
Who did you bet on her last time?
She was a fucking underdog or a heavy favorite.
Do you remember who she was fighting?
No, but
She's fighting Piera Rodriguez, who's 7-0. 29 years old. Kai Henson's 22. It's fucking crazy. She's 22
Young.
years old. Let's see what Pierre has been up to. So she fought in LFA, UCC, VFC. LFA, she had a 5th round knockout. UCC, she had a 3-round decision, and then she had a bunch of TKOs before that. Against, the easiest competition she'll get in the beginning of her career. So, that doesn't say too much. She had a unanimous decision against Valessa Machado in Dana White's Contender Series. Do they have the actual strikes for it? Sure Dog's usually better about this. Come on, really? Nothing? Alright. So, I don't know about that, man. I'm going to stay away from Kai Henson. I'm definitely going to stay away.
I'm gonna put a couple. I'm not putting the fucking.
You're not putting the deed on
I'm
it?
not even putting a quarter of the deed on her. I'm putting like 1/8.
There's a couple fights that I do like, and I want to look at a little bit more. Gavin Tucker versus Pat Sabatini is a featherweight fight that should be interesting. I like Gavin Tucker.
Interesting.
I like Gavin Tucker a lot.
Gavin Tucker.
Yeah.
Gavin Tucker. Tucker Carlson.
All right, so for this week's
Well, let's
pod bet,
write down the pod bet. We haven't even
All right.
written it down.
go for it.
No, that's you. That's you.
Okay, this week
Did you place it yet? I'll write it. I don't give a shit.
no, because I've been waiting for Aspinall to show up on the casino.
Dude,
he just went. He's there, right?
No, you gotta go to the bookie.
Okay.
And the bookie, you just say, dude. It took the guy so fucking long.
I don't think he's watching this. You're
No,
good.
I know. I'm looking at the fucking. I don't know, the 2 people watching, whatever. The fucking guy. He couldn't
typing
find the
on the keyboard.
names, dude. I'm like, Arnold Allen? He's like, who's he facing? I'm like, Arnold Allen. Just type in Arnold Allen. It'll come up. Like, I know how it goes. Dude, he couldn't find anybody. Tom Espinal, couldn't find him.
No shit.
Jack Shore couldn't find him. I'm like, I just place bets on these guys. I'm like, they're there.
All right. So, Tom Aspinall, Arnold Allen are definitely going on the pod bet.
Are we keeping this? What is this?
No, you can erase it.
Oh, sorry, folks. Alright. Tom Aspinall. It's like an okay payout. It's a sweaty, this is a sweaty parlay. No cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we have 2 on there that
Or
are
no,
just
minus-
such huge favorites that it really doesn't catch out.
Yeah,
to
but we got
anything.
2 on there that are minus
500 and okay, yeah. We got both ends of the spectrum. Aspinall.
What the hell? Oh, this one's done.
Yeah, he's out.
Light blue. Tom Aspinall.
Minus 120.
Tom. Minus 120. I
Or-
never write 2s like that. I don't know why I just did that. That's a
What do you do, the hoop?
I always do the hoop.
Do you
since
really?
the first grade.
I always make.
I don't know
like
why
that.
I did that.
Arnold
Okay,
Allen.
next. Arnold Palmer.
Hey Arnold. Football head.
Arnold. Allen. You know that.
That's Finding Nemo.
No, that's the fucking gopher. The YouTube video.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Mike.
Mike. No, that's Nemo.
That's Nemo.
All right, sweat.
Tom Aspinall's the biggest sweat.
Arnold Allen's the biggest sweat. But
I don't
Dan
think
Hooker?
so. I'm pretty confident in Arnold Allen. I really am.
I'm not.
Like
I'm more
I almost
confident
want
in
to put.
Tom Aspinall.
I almost want to put like a couple units just on
I
Allen.
want to put a couple units on this dude. I really do.
Patty the Batty. Coming in at a staggering minus 550.
Minus 550. Yeah, I got his ass at.
I think I got it.
340.
Yeah, something 300s.
Which is crazy.
Ilya Topuria. Topuria. At minus 550.
I'm telling you right now, it's a sweat. The guy hangs his chin up.
Dude, Topuria is fighting a guy who has a 7-inch reach advantage against him.
Yeah, but this guy is actually good.
Topuria is really
And
fucking good.
He's had more fights than Patty the Batty.
Okay, now here's where it gets interesting.
Curtis.
There's a couple. What are you doing?
You put Curtis Blades on it. That's what you texted
Oh yeah,
me.
okay, yeah, Curtis Blades.
Minus 310 right now.
Yep.
That will probably go down, I'm guessing. That's my guess.
I think that's gonna stay. Honestly, I think there's gonna be even on both sides.
I think Curtis Blades just takes him down to the ground.
I do.
But I also thought that with Derek Lewis.
All right. So with these 5,
That's what
so
I got.
far-
It's plus 520.
Yep. I'm happy with that.
That's not a bad bet. It's not a bad.
For me, Tom Aspinall is the only one I'm worried about. I guess Patty Pimblett I am too, but not as much.
So what is? Oh yeah, well you like Arnold Allen. I kind of sketched out. What's Arnold Allen, Topuria, Curtis Blades?
So without Aspinall,
Yeah, that
plus
might-
238.
It's not bad.
No, it's not
It's
bad.
not bad if you have money to blow.
If you
If
yeah,
you-
you just want to put a couple racks.
If you
down.
want,
it's
no,
really
if
not
you want to
bad.
put 500 on it,
Right.
That's not a bad bet, right? For plus 236, that's almost like
Now,
that makes me want to do that so bad.
what is this 5 with Paul Craig? That's 1,500.
Yeah, you ain't hitting that shit.
Bro, you don't like Paul Craig, do you? I know.
No.
I don't mean you
Holy
don't like
shit.
Paul Craig. Huh? Can you see that
Look at that.
on cam?
Look at its shadow.
Oh, you kind of can.
The shadow's sick. Okay, he's not bothering me.
Plus 1514 for Paul Craig. You don't think Paul Craig's gonna beat Krylov?
I think that's worth a 20.
I think that's worth 100. Is that crazy?
Are you balling or something? Like, what is going on?
Dude, like we've been doing really fucking well.
Yeah, I know.
That's what happens when you work 80 hours a week. You want to spend some
Yeah,
fucking
I know,
money.
but you know.
But plus 1,500 on
This
a
shit
16er.
ain't
It's a
hitting.
good. You don't think that's hitting?
No. Because
That's the attitude.
either Arnold Allen, all right, bet it. It's gonna hit.
Either Arnold Allen. Or
That's
what?
the attitude, motherfucker. I'm a rider, bro. That's
Arnold
the
Allen or
attitude.
what? Well, if we're
That's
writing
the
down the
fucking
pod bet, and you're already
We're
saying
not
it's
writing.
not gonna
All right,
hit.
well, just say everything's gonna hit, and then we can just get plus
Yeah.
fucking 30,000.
Let's go.
You want me to still say it's gonna
Yeah,
hit
let's
at plus
fucking do it.
30,000? No, it ain't
It's
gonna hit.
30,000.
That's what I mean. Like.
Well, let's keep adding. Let's
If
see how
Paul
close we
Craig-
can get to 30,000.
Paul Craig, all right. Paul Craig might win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do think he has a very good chance of winning. It's a 50-50 fight.
Of course.
probably 60-40, 40 Paul Craig. But for the number, is it worth the sprinkle? Yes, it is. If you got money to blow and you want to waste something, yeah, go ahead. Put it on something.
Now, I'm just spitballing here, right?
But plus 1,500, those odds aren't supposed to hit.
Okay, if I take off Paul Craig and I add Askarov and Magny,
I like that. I like Magny on there.
I'd be fine with Magny on there here too, honestly, and the pod bet. All right, so just add Magny. We're looking at plus 847.
Yeah, I like that.
He's fighting Max Griffin. Griffin. So Magny's last couple fights, he beat Jeff Neal recently, lost to Michael Chiesa, and was on a 4-fight win streak before.
Yeah.
Max Griffin in his last couple fights, I'm pretty sure Max Griffin's the guy that tore the dude's ear off. Remember that last year? The guy's ear was coming off?
I bet
Max
on
Griffin.
him. He won me a lot of
money. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He just beat up Carlos Condit, who's like 39 years old. He's still a warrior, but, that's kind of has an asterisk. I have no problem with Neil Magny because I really like this dude. I think that he is... Even Dana White was giving him credit a couple weeks ago, saying he's the only guy that'll take... He's the only other guy besides Kamaev that'll be like, I'll fight anybody. I don't care. And I like that warrior spirit.
Well, maybe Nate Diaz. Oh, no. Not Nate Diaz.
No, Nate Diaz, he's waiting for the
picky.
money.
He's picky.
Yeah, he's picky as fuck. The Conor-Nate Diaz trilogy has gotten some clearance lately.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talks about it. There's been a lot of talks about Conor getting a fucking title shot, too.
That's just to stir the pot. He ain't getting a title shot.
He would be the lowest contender ever to get a title shot. Right now, I think he's number 11 in the lightweight division.
Is he? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
10. He's 10.
I'm saying he can't get a title shot if he's 10. You know what I mean? That's just the media playing it up.
Well, Oliveira wants it, of course, because he wants the payday.
Yeah, you get paid a lot of money.
Right.
Like a lot of money.
So Neil Magny added to this is plus 847. Is it worth plus 300? Plus 320 to add Neil Magny?
Yeah.
All right.
You think it's plus 320 to add Neil Magny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he went. I think he dude, he has good leg kicks, man.
When's the last time we had a pod bet have a 16er? 16 have a 6 leg.
This ain't the pod bet.
Oh, that's why I was asking. That's what I meant.
Oh, do I like
Neil Magny on the pod bet?
Well, the pod bet is the ones that we're
for
for sure gonna win, and I really think these are for sure gonna win.
Right.
I have my doubts on some of them, obviously, but I'm 90% sure this is gonna win.
Me too. Pimblett or Aspinall, which one makes you more nervous?
Pimblett. Because the number, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The number. And if you watch his last fight, he didn't.
We do have a lot. I have a lot of tickets on Pimblett.
Me too.
To be honest.
Me too. Check this bet out. I did. This is a pretty good bet, dude.
Devontae Adams just got traded to the Raiders.
Damn, they're giving Derek Carr.
Are you ready for this? He just got traded, and Las Vegas will give him a deal of 5 years, $142 million. That's $28 million a year. That's the highest receiver contract ever.
What did they get for him, though?
2 draft picks.
That's it.
Because he was going to hold out.
2 draft picks?
The draft picks are not disclosed just yet. Adam Schefter has reported that the Raiders are trading and will give a monster contract of over $140 million to Devontae Adams.
You know what? Good for the Green Bay Packers. They just signed Aaron Rodgers. You kind of do.
Just a little bit.
You don't need someone of that stature and that caliber.
I kind of want to break into Chet's podcast right now because he's doing one on NFL free agency. We're not going to, obviously.
Oh, we could.
If you want.
I think that Aaron Rodgers can do pretty much the same thing with somebody less than Devontae Adams. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, he has like Valdez Scantling and Alan Lazard and Equinemius St. Brown. Those are his top 3 receivers.
Yeah.
Again, all guys that
Not
have never
good.
got
Not
1,000
good.
receiving seasons. But that was Devontae Adams before he was the number 1 guy. So, like, let's see what Valdez-Scantling, who will probably be the number 1 option, gets as a number 1 target. They have the tight end who's good, Tanyan. Robert Tanyan was a decent pickup last year.
No, they got some cap now, you know.
Aaron Jones, decent running back.
Yeah, they can put that money somewhere else, you know. It's.
Do they have the cap? I don't know. They just gave A-Rod $50 million a year.
Yeah, that is crazy, man.
And they have this fucking kid, Jordan Love, who's just sitting on the back burner. Number one draft pick.
They're gonna trade Aaron Rodgers.
Did you see that Baker Mayfield requested a trade away from the Browns? Did you see who his preferred team is? The Colts.
Bah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Neither do I. That's why I laughed.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. Like, I'm not totally against the idea. Do I want him to start for the Colts? No.
You want to know why he wants to go to
no.
the Colts?
Because the Colts wouldn't want him.
Because the O-line. He ain't going to be getting sacked.
It's just like the Browns. Great O-line with a really good running back stable
Yeah.
and some okay pieces at receiver in a decent marketed city. Like
Okay, wide receiver core. I mean, it's getting a little rough out there now. Ty is getting up there. He's injury
Ty's
prone.
gone.
He's
Ty's a free agent.
he's gone. Okay.
You got Michael Pittman. You got Zach Pascal.
Pittman's good.
Pittman would be a really great number 2. Like, if we could sign a fucking receiver, that would be so great. The Colts haven't done anything. They got Yannick Ngakoue, which is a really good edge piece. But besides that, they haven't done anything in free agency.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's another blockbuster trade that'll be coming in the next couple minutes.
No. Aaron Rodgers?
No, Rodgers is going to stay there.
Aaron Rodgers?
There's no way.
Another one?
Matt just put in the group chat. Wild hypothetical. Browns get Jimmy Garoppolo. Buccaneers get Baker Mayfield. 49ers get Tom Brady.
Hypothetical? Hypothetical.
This dude is
Hypothetical.
out there. That's a really hypothetical.
That is the most... Get the fuck out of here. No way. That is the most hypothetical... Yeah. That is hypothetical. Pigs can fly in a couple years, maybe. They might grow wings and start flying around.
I'm trying to think who the fuck else. Oh.
I don't know. I think... Listen, we're going on this fucking football talk, man.
Yeah, I know.
We can go on the football talk.
Just do another podcast right now. Football, fuck it. No, maybe not.
Maybe not. But
It's kind of crazy. I figured that if Aaron Rodgers stayed in Green Bay, Devontae Adams would have too.
That's
but
what I mean.
I guess that cap hit would have been ridiculous.
they could trade Aaron Rodgers.
They could.
But who the hell's gonna? Who can eat up? Who can eat up that cap? That no, not a lot of teams.
The Colts could. The Colts have $70 million in cap. Just saying. They got rid of Carson Wentz's entire contract. That was the
They
only
could
reason.
go on a rebuild and have Jordan Love.
I just
Yo, that's
I
not a
wonder
bad
what the
idea.
fucking draft picks are that they got, because if they got a first round pick and like a third round pick, that's really good. That'd be really good. All right, are we about all set? You good with this? So
I'm good.
We're gonna go hit the casino, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Till next week. I hope everybody enjoys the fight night coming up this weekend. It should be a really good card.
Tico's watching the pod.
UFC London.
Yo, what's good?
UFC London coming up this weekend.
He said he was.
1 o'clock start time, 4 o'clock main card, 6 o'clock for the main event. I think 6:30.
So the pod bet, official pod bet, before we sign off. It's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a decent pod bet. I like this
100
one.
hours, pay $620, ride it,
Right.
and enjoy the ride. Don't
Enjoy the dough.
don't get caught watching the sunset. You gotta make sure you're focused on riding.
Right. And if
You know.
Blades was out like 2 weeks ago, we would have added to that. I'm pretty sure I have a card with just those 4, like from 2 weeks ago, when the odds were so much fucking better.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you tune in to MMA Complete every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Go check out Fans Only Sports for more sports media content. We've been posting a lot of articles. We've been keeping track through all free agency. March Madness coming up. Huge deal over the next couple weeks. We've been doing a lot of stuff on that, so go check them out. And April 9th will be the next pay-per-view. We're going to be starting around 8 to 10 o'clock p.m. for the whole card. It's going to be a good time, man. We're riding the wave. We've been doing really well these last couple weeks, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep fucking winning money.
Let's go, Maple Leafs.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be
believe.
back next week with hopefully a little bit.
Oh no, we need the
heavier
Rangers.
pockets.
Fuck the Maple Leafs. We need the Rangers.